Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 360 of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. I'm as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Retro games, that's what's up. And I'm not just talking about like NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, the normal stuff. I'm talking about really niche type of ones. I'm talking about TurboGrafx, I'm talking about Neo Geo. Basically what I'm doing is I have had moderate interest inside of older systems that I've never had access to. So I've been doing a little bit of research, and I may just go through and, if I get a chance, maybe purchase one of those little, like, TurboGrafx 16 minis. May. Possibly. But that's if Konami goes through and, actually uploads it onto the Amazon store.
Yeah.
For the U.S. Because apparently it's like an import thing. I don't know why, but the U.S. version of the plug-and-play TurboGrafx 16 is, like, only available on Amazon Japan, apparently. So it's really crazy stupid. Because, you see these reviewers like IGN, Electronic Playground, and other YouTubers. They've got their hands on the system. They've tried it out. To be perfectly honest with you, Tyler, I have a lot of interest in trying new and elaborate games, quintessentially. And that's just me. I've always been one of those type of gamers and stuff where I want to try a little bit of everything if I possibly can, because it's like when I grew up, I just played Nintendo stuff. Kind of similar to what you've done. And basically, even when I was a kid, I'd play on my Super Nintendo, but my brothers would let me play on the Sega Genesis, and even when the PlayStation, even the niche type of stuff, like the Sega CD, or the 32X, or even just games like that. And situations like that. I mean, hell, Family of Four. My mom, almost every Christmas would get, some sort of gaming affiliate and stuff for either my brothers or myself, or my little brother. So it's it's just that kind of, feeling of whenever somebody is, inside of a medium or some for so long that they want to go back and they want to do a little bit of digging to see, okay, what's coming out right now is stagnated. Well, let's go back. Let's go and see what I've actually been missing, and just doing bits of research for the libraries of two niche consoles that I never had access to. One, because TurboGrafx 16, that console was released in 89, but it was discontinued in 94, so never had a chance to experiment with that system. Neo Geo, that's at the opposite end of the spectrum for price. It was always available in terms of, the early 90s upwards up to 2003. But the thing about it was, that was a system that was incredibly expensive. I mean, this is a system that almost... Actually, it did. It produced, arcade perfect, games in that regards. Basically, how those arcades were structured is those big old cartridges that you see maybe randomly and stuff. There were some consoles, there were some aspects of it where you have these big old cartridges that they would put inside these SNK arcade cabinets, and then all of a sudden it's you would be able to play these big old beautiful games, and now years later you have people that buy these adapters to plug those same games into their systems and stuff. But honestly, I'm getting a little bit off track right here. But basically what I've been doing is researching upon gaming history from the 90s and early 2000s. But what have you been doing, Tyler?
Not a lot. Nothing too crazy with me. I was telling Gales for the show. My My parents got a dog, so that's pretty exciting.
Yay!
Yep. It's a part half French. Excuse me, half French bulldog, half English bulldog. So it's called a oldie. It's like old English and a Frenchie. So I got that last week, and then I ended up having the dog sit it today for a few hours. So, man, don't miss the puppy stage. Let me tell you that much. Thing is just a ball of energy. It never stops. It just pees everywhere. Pees everywhere.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, when I had my dog and stuff, that was basically what he did. He was just a little ball of energy running around and around and around, and just doing random crap.
Yeah. Like you gotta follow him. You can't leave him alone for more than 30 seconds. But I don't know. Not too much going on with me. We're trying to find Courtney's nephew has a birthday in 2 weeks, and we're trying to find him a Switch because that's all he ever does when he wants to do is when he comes over here is play the Switch. But we could find like bundles, but we can't find like the Switch itself. We can get him a Switch Lite, I should say. We can find bundles of Switch Lites, but for some reason we can't get him the regular Switch. I had one in the cart today. Actually, I found one on Best Buy, and I had it in the cart and everything like that. Had my information put in. Went to go hit confirm order. It sold out. So that sucked. That's frustrating. But I mean, they were talking about that a while ago about how there's gonna be. They're talking about in January that they're gonna be hard to find come the spring, but it kind of like sped up everything with the COVID-19 hitting way worse than they thought. Like because basically when everybody got laid off and stuff in March, the console sales for like it sold out everywhere, and like even like Best Buy and everywhere they're only, like you can only get one per person. So
yes, that's partially to blame, but also from what I had been listening to from like Kind of Funny Games and everything else, there is apparently a bot
the
site.
Bots.
Yeah, the bot sites have been buying up these sellers. These resellers have been using this bot site in order to spend a lot of money in order to buy Switches, Switch regulars, Switch Lites as soon as they come in to websites like Amazon, like Best Buy, like everything else. And quintessentially, they do that so that they can drive up the price and initially make a profit of it. So that's why we're seeing, in collaboration with everything else in this world, going crazy. Why Switch bundles are going for like $400 or $500, and even with the Animal Crossing limited edition one going at least around the $700 mark, which is ridiculous. But I do wish you luck though in terms of finding a Switch though for her nephew. I think it is.
Nephew. I think we're just gonna like GameStop has a bundle. Like all he wants to play is like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. And they actually have a bundle for like $350, and it comes with like a carrying case and the memory card, the SD card. So it's not really bad. It's not really a gouging deal. So I think we're just gonna break down and get that one for him. But he likes to play it on the TV. But I mean, it's either probably this or not one at all. So, but yeah, I mean, not too much going on with me. I've been on this weird like Coors Light kick though lately. I mean, that's kind of a groundbreaking thing I'm learning about myself. I'm not a light beer guy. Like I had friends like that drank Keystone Light a lot, and I drank that with them because that was their thing. But the other day I got off work and me and another guy closed, and he's like, "Why don't you? I got you a beer if you want to have one with me." So him and I drank a beer in the parking lot at like 1:30 in the morning last Friday. And
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's like 60 something, and he's got me a couple of tall boys of Coors Light. And we just sat out there and bullshitted for like 45 minutes and talk shop for a little while. So that was, I drank it. I'm like, that wasn't bad. Like it's like because I'm usually I always talk about I'm like the douchey craft beer guy, but sometimes it's kind of hard to like you want like that nice refreshing beer, and they have those, but there's like. I don't know. It's like they're limited options, and sometimes you just like there's like a lot of times they're like the summer ones, and it's like a lemon and stuff like that, or like a higher alcohol content. It's like I don't really want to get drunk or anything. I just want like a beer.
Man, and, even with those like artificial flavors too, like a lemon or like a lime or anything else like that. Even when it comes to say like soft drinks like soda, I mean it's really like picky in regards to which ones actually taste good in terms of quality, in terms of flavor. crispness and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I don't usually drink light beer because like it gives me like really bad headaches, so I can only have like a few of them. But like especially like a Miller Lite or just like Bud Light or something like that. But I used to drink White Claws for that reason because it was like they were like, you know, they're like it was refreshing. But like you said, there was like the artificial flavoring. Like after a while, and like we'd be drinking it, and it's like all of a sudden we would start talking like my teeth hurt, like really bad. Like it just like that same feeling I get when I drink too many energy drinks. I'm just like my mouth hurts. So I don't know. It's a weird kick. I'll just drink like one or two a night now, like of the tall boys. So that's been kind of nice. That's pretty much like the big thing going on with me this week, you know, is I drink some Coors Light every now and again now. So weird, you know. This is where we're at now. What 6 weeks into quarantine, you know?
Oh yeah, 6 weeks. The only difference is you're kind of still working. Me, I've just been finding literally anything to keep my mind occupied, even if it's like creating new routines.
Yeah, we've been burning through a lot of movies and TV shows. So we've watched like every episode of Impractical Jokers now. So
wow.
Yeah, like that. We both love that show. It's one of my favorite shows. But I don't know. Have you ever seen Impractical Jokers?
I've only seen maybe Practical Jokers like maybe a couple times.
Oh man, I can't.
I haven't really watched like a lot of it.
I can't stop it. It's just it's fucking hilarious. I don't know why it's so fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's pretty much like I said, not a lot exciting going on with us in this world. But you know, we were kind of talking about with the craziness of sales going on with the Switch a little minute ago. So I'm gonna jump into. Normally, this is like the NPDs is something I save for the very end of the show. But I think I'm gonna lead off with it this time, Gables. One, because I think it's kind of big, and two, it kind of ties into what we were just talking about. But this time last year, the sales for hardware, so that's consoles, has rise 63% from last March.
63%, huh?
Yes, and then video game sales has, like for actual like the video games itself, have gone up 35% from this time last year.
Wow.
This is just based off last March. Obviously, I think like we were talking about, like with the everything going on with the quarantine has a lot to do with that, and then also you know especially with the console sales. But then we also had Animal Crossing come out last month, and also Doom, but mainly Animal Crossing. So yeah, so I think the sales came out for the Animal Crossing, and it's like I think it's almost 10 million copies sold already. Like that, I think like the number was like it was like 3 million digital and like over 5 million physical at this point. So it's getting close to that 10 million range. But I think something that, you know, so going through, we're going to have our top 20 list here. I want to go through. I'm going to go through like normal. And this is crazy because Nintendo doesn't give out digital numbers. Never has. Probably never will. But this is the for last March, or for this past March. These are the numbers. This is the top 20 sales. So a game that came out on March 30th of March 30th. I don't know. I was going with that one. Sorry, but it came out on March 30th. So one of the last days of this NPD was Modern Warfare 2 Remastered at number 20.
Right.
At 19, Mortal Kombat 11. 18, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. 17, Just Dance 2020. 16, Madden NFL 20. 15, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team. 14, Mario Smash Bros. Ultimate. 13, FIFA 20. 12, Red Dead Redemption 2. 11, Neo 2. Didn't Neo 2 come out last month too? Was that February?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't really remember.
All right, I'm gonna look that up real fast. Sorry, guys. But March 12th. Yeah,
okay,
so it came
March
out.
12th, so it did come out.
Yeah, so
last month.
So yeah, so number 11 was Neo 2. Number 10, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 9, Borderlands 3. 8, GTA 5. 7, Persona 5. 6, Doom Eternal. 5, NBA 2K20. 4, Resident Evil 3. 3 is MLB The Show 20. 2 is Modern Warfare, the new one, the one that came out in November. And number 1, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. So they also said that for Animal Crossing, it was the best launch ever for Animal Crossing game, and it's it's the third best launch ever for a Nintendo game for the Switch. I mean, behind Mario Odyssey and Smash Brothers.
Wow.
So pretty crazy to think that to see that that's happening with Animal Crossing. I think this is a game we all knew was gonna be big, but I think this is a game that's trying to find positives and negative everything going on in the world right now. Like this game has probably no other. I don't think there's any other game out there right now that can benefit from what's going on in the world besides Animal Crossing. And I think, I mean, when you agree, is this okay, so was this a game you think you were going to get regardless, or is this a game, are you playing more because of what's going on, or is this, what was your feelings with Animal Crossing before everything was going on?
Alright, before everything was going on, I still was dead set on buying both Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons day one, and that's exactly what I did, so if anything, the whole pandemic stuff, pardon me. Yeah. Actually, it was more incentive of me to play a little bit more of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and that's only because the game is so darn addicting.
Yeah. Yeah, what was you posted on Twitter the other day, or Twitter or Facebook, but what was your hours at now?
Okay, so at the time, I think it was a bit over 100. Currently is 115 hours into Animal Crossing New Horizons.
God damn. Do you think you'll pass Fire Emblem?
That's hard to say right now. I mean, Fire Emblem Three Houses was 167 hours. Mm-hmm. And I am not really too sure at the moment. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's readily possible. I mean, what's kind of hilarious is the time is almost surpassed the amount of time that I've spent watching YouTube on the Switch. So, yeah, I normally watch YouTube like on my PS4, and like I don't really watch on the computer. And for some odd reason, I started to go through and freaking like... started watching on the Switch, and without me even noticing it, it trickled up to like about 120 hours, and I'm like, what the hell? But I'm not sure, Tyler. It may, but then again, if it does, I'm probably going to still play more Fire Emblem Three Houses because I got the DLC content to go through.
That's right. That's already out, isn't it?
It's already out. I've already bought it.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. And I still got that like FOMO for that game, and it's been out for over a month now. It's officially now. It's it's April 22nd as a recording, so. And it's like it's waned off a little bit, like, but I mean like on Twitter and stuff, like when I go on Twitter, like for the first like 2 weeks it was just nonstop. Like 80% of my Twitter was fucking Animal Crossing, and now it's gone down to like 75% of what my Twitter is Animal Crossing. So it's not like a massive drop. Like, and then like the new content they just announced coming. I think did it start today or is it tomorrow?
It's actually starting tomorrow, the 23rd. Okay. Like all the big old update. Yeah. Actually, they were prepping the servers, I think, for an update tonight or something. I'm not sure. But I did see earlier on Twitter that the Nintendo Network stuff was down for maintenance and stuff. But yeah,
okay.
I know it's tomorrow.
All right, yeah. So what is it? Is it like Nature Day or something tomorrow? Is that what it is?
I think so. I mean, Earth Day I think just passed us by.
Yeah, your Earth Day is today.
Yeah, Earth Day's
as
today.
Of recording. Yeah.
But yeah, the big old update's tomorrow, the 23rd of April. For those that are listening.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at like what they're talking about here. So there's like new fish and bugs, crossbreed flowers, new tarantulas. Okay, yeah, there's like
new tarantulas.
Cool. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can farm tarantulas. Oh, how to farm tarantulas? I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Obviously I haven't played the game, but here it is. Here's the schedule. Yeah, Nature Day starts tomorrow, and it goes through the 4th, May 4th. The May Day tour, May 1st through the 7th. Right. International Museum Day, May 18th to the 31st, and Wedding Season, the 1st through the 30th. So that's cool. I mean, they just dropped like the next like 2 months of content. Like, here's everything we're doing for the next 2 months. And that's awesome to see. And I think that's the kind of stuff that's going to keep this game going for a while. But looking at the rest of this list, I think I'm a little shocked to see Pokemon Mystery Dungeon all the way at 15th. I know it didn't get a big push behind it, and what came out the 6th, I think. So it came out 2 weeks before Animal Crossing, so it kind of came out at a bad time. But I don't know. I feel like there was a decent amount of push behind that game. It wasn't announced until like probably about 6 weeks before it came out. I feel like the reviews are okay, but for you're a big Pokemon fan. Is that something like you think like in the world of Pokemon, like for gamers, is that a huge one that people are looking forward to?
I would think only to a niche in the Pokemon community that they would actually look forward to playing Mystery Dungeon on the Switch. But in terms of everyone else and stuff, I mean, I really think the reasoning why it sold that well to begin with is because, one, it was one of those games that released around the time the whole pandemic stuff hit, and that's just one of the games that quintessentially was out for the Switch that everybody else is picking up alongside games like Animal Crossing and like everything else. So it's like, yeah, I think it actually benefited them. I think it actually benefited quite a bit in terms of their sales stuff. But as far as audience goes for the Pokemon community, yeah, I would just say it's a niche.
Okay.
So it probably is going to be off the NPDs next month, perhaps. I may be wrong. There could be some update, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think what could push it off, because like what we had to add to this, like what's big in April that's coming out, like we had Final Fantasy VII. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think there's anything else big. I think Final Fantasy VII was like the last big game that came out. Excuse me, that we know of. So it might, yeah, it'll probably be lower on the list, but yeah, I can see it falling off. But I look at the rest of the list. It's kind of like, so the list doesn't end on the last day of the month. It usually goes a few days after. So I think this month it went through April 4th. So it's kind of disappointing. It's great to see for this game. Disappointing for another game, but on April 3rd, Resident Evil 3 came out, and it's already 4th for March's NPDs. And Doom Eternal, which came out the exact same day of Animal Crossing, is 6th, behind NBA 2K20, Resident Evil, MLB The Show, Modern Warfare, and New Horizons.
Huh.
So they said it was the best launch ever for a Doom game, but we don't have like sales numbers. But maybe for them that's great. But I just feel like, and like okay, Resident, like it was really New Horizons and Doom Eternal were the two big games that came out in March.
Yeah.
And MLB The Show. But like MLB The Show is a console exclusive, and it's a baseball game, so it's a very niche market. I mean, Animal Crossing has taken over the world, so I mean, no one's shocked to see it's doing so well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm bummed to see that at 6. I know it's still they're pretty happy with that number. And once it doesn't include digital sales, and I bought my copy digitally. Well, I don't know. That's just kind of a bummer. I was really disappointed to see that. But it seems to be the way. But I don't know how many Bethesda games outside of like Elder Scrolls and like Fallout, like that usually hit super high on the NPD list. But I mean, like usually I think like Wolfenstein was about the same. It was like bottom half of the top 10 the month it came out. So I don't know. But like Persona 5 Royal, a game that is like basically a re-release of a game that came out 3 years ago. At number 7, also a PS4 exclusive. Pretty crazy to see. I don't know. I just it's kind of I'm curious to see like the games that still have staying power besides like the ones that you like. Obviously, like the sports games and Call of Duty are going to always be there. GTA 5 is going to fucking always be there. I don't think that game's been off the top 20 list since it launched in like what 2013. I want to say 2012.
Oh yeah, 2012.
Oh no, wait, it was April 2013. So 7 years it's been on that fucking list. So, because I remember it came out right before the new consoles, the year the consoles came out. I don't know. But speaking of games that had some big updates, Mario Maker 2 has a bunch of updates announced for it. So this came out today as of recording, but so it's the final major update for Mario. I keep wanting to say Mario Brothers 2, but Mario Maker 2. But kind of the thing is, the big thing they added was this, you can create your own Super Mario worlds. You can create 8? I think there's 8 worlds with 5 levels on it, so 40 levels. But you can basically create your own Super Mario World game itself, and you can like make them like you can make one of them like an ice world or like a haunted world or whatever. So there's like themes you can do behind it. But other things they added was like the frog suit from Mario Brothers 3. They had the power balloon from Super Mario World, the super acorn from Mario Brothers U, the boomerang flower from 3D Land. They added a bunch of Mario Maker 2 power ups too, and also you can do like the down B, and you can pull stuff up. as well. They have like the red power box, Goomba mask, Bullet Bill mask, but a lot of these are only compatible with like certain things. And then they added in all of the Koopalings, like all the main bosses for that. So I feel like this is cool to see. This is like exactly what I remember when Justin bought this game at launch on the first one on Wii U, and I asked him like one of the first questions I had, hey man, can you create your own worlds? And he said no, not yet. And like I mean, this is like what 5 years ago, and 6 maybe longer. And that was like something I was hoping for in this, and when this new one launched. But I don't know. I just like I'm kind of disappointed with Mario Maker 2, where like this is a game I thought was going to be a big game for me like last summer, and it was kind of fun for like a week or maybe like a couple weeks, and I got to jump in there and play my friends, like play Justin's levels and play other friends' levels and stuff like that. And I remember like when the first one came out, like it took over, and it was a game on the Wii U that sold 12 million systems, and this thing was like the most popular game in the world for like a good few months. Like Game Grumps, like some of their best episodes ever have been like playing through that game, the first one, and like I go back and I watch those stuff all like every so often. I go back and watch.
Oh my god, like about 100-something episodes they had.
Yeah, well, no, like people like put together like the best of moments and stuff like that. I'll watch those, but like I mean, like I enjoy watching that. Like they came out and they did it again for Mario Maker 2, and like they did like 20 episodes, and like I don't know, it didn't have that same like views, didn't have that same kind of pizzazz to it. It just kind of felt like more of the same, but like we just put it on the Switch, and it wasn't like they added some new stuff, and like I guess like I remember hearing about it, and that was like everybody was talking about before it even came out. Like Super Mario Bros. 2 was like that's gonna be like the new thing they add to it, and apparently that was gonna be the thing they added to it, even as of late last year, early this year. And you know, like people have talked about like maybe it was a lack of staying power for this thing. It didn't continuously sell throughout. Like it kind of came out, sold super well. It sold like what 2.5 million. I think the first like week it was out, and it's only sold. And there's 2.5 million the next 9 months. So it doesn't have that kind of like staying power. It's not like there's not a lot of people still playing this game, but you know I think this will bring people back. And like the Zelda stuff brought people back, but I'm wondering how long this will keep people around for, because like I want to play this game more. I think if they had this at the beginning, like that'd be something that would be a blast. Of like friends of mine like made 40 levels and like actually made like their own game, and it made sense. Like it wasn't just random 40 levels. Like that'd be badass. I'd love to play through that. And I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing to see like it's awesome this shit's here, but it should have been here 9 months ago. But I can't remember. Did you buy Mario Maker 2?
Yes, I did buy Mario Maker 2, but I played through the single player. I've only maybe dipped in a little bit to the online content because quintessentially there really wasn't much for me to go through that I was interested in.
No.
And on top of that, you weren't really able to sort through which players' levels and stuff until you could, unless you had to get some various like code or something like that for their levels. But in terms of this massive update that we got, creating your own worlds, like quintessentially creating your own Mario game in and of itself, that's fucking awesome. I love that idea. You have the Koopalings, you have all these other like various like power-ups and stuff, like New Super Mario 3D World to like Mario 2. I mean, I literally was like, what the fuck? As soon as I see like the freaking 2D like Mario Brothers 2 sprite, all of a sudden you just pick up a whole bunch of like these random like items, like you could pick up certain fireballs or certain like mushrooms and do this and do that. But to be perfectly honest with you, it actually makes me want to go back and just screw around with the game some more, because quintessentially that was the thing I wanted from day one when that game released. I wanted to have that type of option, and I certainly wanted to go through and like search for people's individual levels, you know, sort by what's great, what's not, what's this and that, you know, because I wanted to have a little bit more experience with it. Because quintessentially, I thought like Mario Maker 2 in and of itself, without the DLC that just came out, was fine. You know, it was a good game. It was on my list of top 10 games of like last year.
Oh yeah, right, it was. Yeah, it was.
But it didn't have the staying power as the original, and that was mostly due in large part to, well, it was just basically, it wasn't like a burnout or anything. There wasn't like much left that was really appealing to me at the time. But I'm going to go through and probably download the DLC stuff, potentially maybe tonight or whatever. It all depends upon when or if the PSN gets back online.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's pretty much it, though, from my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, so you had Mario Maker 2 at number 6 for last year in your top 10 list.
Yep.
So I still have it saved in here. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think this is something I'll check out in a few days. I think it'd be fun to see, especially because I haven't really picked up and played it much over the last 8 months or so. I'll jump back in a few times. I didn't even finish the story mode. I thought it was fun for a little while, and it's kind of, I don't know. But admittedly, I'm not the biggest 2D Mario fan. I've always talked about that, but I don't know. I remember just how much I got sucked into the Wii U one, and it's I also miss the fact that we don't have what was it called, what was the social media thing the Wii U had.
Wait, the social media thing.
You can actually you can post stuff on boards and stuff, and they had
oh, that
forums.
was the Miiverse.
Yeah, the Miiverse. I think honestly, the Miiverse, not having the Miiverse on the Switch has some affects that too. I would love to have the Miiverse back on the Switch. This is the game. It's perfect for it. You can put your code on there. You can see what your friends. There are screenshots, and you can send things to your friends on there, fuck you or whatever, when you play a really hard level, or I don't know. I think that game needs it. And like you said, the UI for that game is just, it still feels dated on that thing. And it's just, I don't know. It just feels like it's more like Mario Maker 1.5 than 2 to me. But I don't know. I don't want to crap on the game. But I think that's great. I think it's cool. A lot of people are excited for it. And like I said, I'll jump back into it. But I'm curious if how many people are going to come back to it for this. But moving on to our next topic here, sticking with Mario. So this is something we've been talking about forever. We want this. We know it's coming. There was a leak about Mario 3D games about a month ago. But the Super Mario 3D World for the Switch was actually there was actually a spot for it on Best Buy yesterday for a little while at $60. There's been a lot of talks about how's this game going to come out. Is it going to be part of the Mario All Stars 2 bundle, or is it going to be its own separate thing? And the rumor at the time was it's going to be its own separate thing. So it sounds, what Amazon Canada or something posted a bunch of PS4 exclusive games instead of coming on. They were coming to PC, and that turned out to be all false.
I think it was Amazon last France, maybe.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. It was Amazon France. Sorry, Canada. But this stuff is wrong. Before we'll see this stuff all the time. But I think it's safe to say for big sites like this, more times than not, it's accurate. So I don't know. Is this? So do you see yourself? Do you think this is $60? Do you think that's something worth getting again?
Yes, absolutely. Because for one reason, and that is it's a fantastic Mario game. Mm-hmm. Super Mario 3D World, I nearly completed, barring the hardest levels. Towards the end of that game, which were complete and utter bullshit, in my honest opinion. My God, I still remember the times when I went on to that special course, and I think it was the Star World thing near the end of the game, or maybe at the end of the game. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've actually played Super Mario 3D World. But those stages, man, those were very difficult in regards to typical Mario game stuff. It was actually a really big breath of fresh air. But yeah. I would definitely pay $60 for Super Mario 3D World on the Switch, or in case my Walmart gets it in, it's going to be $50.
Yeah, true. I'm kind of the same way. I remember beating the game and then going back and trying to not going back, but playing the hard levels after that, and I was able to do 5 or 6 of them, and just getting my ass handed to me. And I remember Justin, for years, he would not give up on that game, because he got to that last level after the very, very last the marathon level they always put at the end. Uh-huh. And he got to that, and I remember I don't know how many hours him and I wouldn't play it, I'd watch him play it, but it was intense. It was fun to watch. I was just he might get it this time, and it was just still to this day he never beat that level. He's put hours and hours into that final level and hasn't been able to beat it. So And then this one, the rumors are they're going to have new levels with it too. And I think there going to be some slight differences because some of the levels like were heavily using like the gamepad and the screen on the touchscreen on that. And I remember like the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker when that came out. I remember like being like really excited for playing that, and then like I forgot about the levels that like really heavily require the gamepad. And it's just like they didn't really work very well. So those levels scare me. But I like there's so few and far between that this game's still fantastic without it. Like even if they just pull those levels and put new levels in it or something, or even if they find a way to work around it, the game's still great. So
Absolutely.
I'm all in for it, and especially they have new levels for it. That's all I want. That's perfect. I love that game. I wish they put Super Mario 3D Land like for like $20 on the Switch. Like why isn't that happening?
Yeah, that's a excellent idea. That's actually an excellent question too. But honestly, I have no idea why they haven't yet. I mean, that would be a perfect idea.
Yeah,
in that regards.
I mean, because I don't really think the game doesn't really do anything. I mean, I know it's like a different console, but like we've seen them port Wii U games to the 3DS and 3DS games to the Wii U and Switch before, so it's not possible. But I love it if they put that out for like $20-$30 because that game was fantastic too. Like I remember that when I bought that was the first game I bought for my 3DS when I got the GameStop and I bought it. I bought it like the week before the new Pokemon X and Y came out, and I text Justin while I'm at the GameStop. I had new Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario 3D Land in my hand. I'm like, which one should I get? And he's like, just get 3D Land. You won't regret it. And I got it. And I didn't regret it. That game's fucking awesome. So I love to replay that game again too. So I'm hoping. I mean, this is just one step closer, I think, to. I mean, we know it's going to happen eventually, but that like all signs pointing it's happening soon. And with everything going on, like who knows what we're going to have for the rest of the year. So I'm starting to think that more likely that will be like the big November game for the Switch, which would be kind of a bummer, like a Wii U game being ported over to the Switch, being the big holiday game, but that game is probably going to sell super well all over again, and it'll have a bigger audience this time too.
That we know of, really.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah, so I think the game will do well. But like it was funny. I think we talked about this before, but like the game came out the same day the PS4 did, and this game's going to come out again with the new consoles out. So it gets fucked over again on that end. But moving on to I think this will be our last topic. So we talked about last month about GameStop, staying, not refusing to close and all that. So a lot of stores closed, like ours are closed here in the state of Iowa, and it's pretty much most states that are on lockdown are on the stay-at-home orders are shut down.
Yes.
But apparently some GameStops are planning on reopening. So I'm just going to read pretty much this whole article here. But GameStop has announced business updates, and it plans to reopen stores and cut executive salaries in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. After originally keeping some stores open in defiance of certain state government orders that shut down all non-essential businesses, GameStop retail locations eventually transitioned to a curbside pickup-only model to keep its employees and customers safe from home or from coronavirus. GameStop CEO George Sherman stated that since we closed stores to the public on March 22nd through omni-channel fulfillment, we have retained over 90% of our planned sale volume in the 2/3 of the stores that we are conducting curbside operations. In this latest move, Sherman announced salary reductions for our senior management team and board of directors, as well as wage rate reductions for some other corporate and field support staff. GameStop is also offering certain employees with the option to work under a half-time, half-pay structure or temporary furlough program. Sherman is taking a temporary base salary reduction of 50%, while CFO Jim Bell and the rest of the executive leadership team is taking a 30% cut. Board of directors have also reduced cash compensation to directors by 50%. Certain other employees will also see their pay temporarily reduced from 10 to 30%. GameStop, as previously mentioned, shut down one third of its stores, with the others adopting the curbside pickup model. The company has now begun the process of opening stores in Italy, Germany, and Austria, while South Carolina and Georgia are preparing to potentially reopen in the coming weeks. Australia, on the other hand, has had none of its stores closed and has seen strong results, continuing with approximately 24% comparable store sales for the 9 weeks ending April 4th. The company as a whole, the 9-week period sale ending April 9th or April 4th, sorry, has seen its sales decline approximately 23% year over year. And that's pretty much it. The rest goes into like serious business talk. But apparently, they're going to reopen some stores here soon. But I don't know. Like, I'm glad to see that. Like there are, the main people, or like a lot of the heads are the people that can afford it are taking that pay cut. Yeah, I'd argue honestly, like a lot of companies have been doing that for a while now, and maybe that's something they should have done a while ago. But I don't know. Like I'm of two minds. Like Italy's hit pretty bad still. South Carolina and Georgia reopening there. Like I don't know. It's just we've seen a lot of states sadly are like Texas is already reopening some stuff. Arizona never really shut down anything too much. Like they're on they have some stay-at-home stuff going on right now. But I don't know. Like I'm not getting too political. It's glad to see that they're doing some things to help. But I feel like it's once again it's like too little, too late, and then also too much too soon by reopening some stores. What about you, Gables?
Oh, to be perfectly honest with you and stuff, it doesn't really surprise me at this point that GameStop wants to just open up consistently, even after that stuff. I mean, hell, they made pay cuts to their higher ups, and I kind of find it really convenient that Reggie started working this past week, and all of a sudden there's major like higher up cuts and everything else with that. But at the end of the day,
Mecha Reggie came in and shut shit down. He's like, everybody's taking less money.
To be perfectly honest, I don't have really anything else really to add to it except just fuck GameStop.
That's fair. That's a good way to settle it. Yeah. Did you hear about that? I don't think we ever talked about it on here. Did you hear about that? The like it's like a regional like company now, but like the store called Game Exchange.
Yes, I've heard of Game Exchange.
Yeah, so I've never heard of it before. Like, but it's like we have like a regional like store that's like only here in Nebraska and Iowa. I used to work for, but I'm not going to mention their name because fuck them. But so they're regional and like Ohio, kind of like the northeastern area. It sounds like, and they actually like they refused to shut down, and like they gave out like they wouldn't give like their customers like cleaning supplies, gloves, masks, whatever, and like they told like to ways to prevent like or to find out if you have it was hold your breath for 10 seconds, and if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, you don't have. They don't have the disease, and it's just, and like one manager actually like anonymously emailed the CEO of the company, and like with filing his complaints, and basically the CEO was like, well, if you have these complaints, don't post them anonymously. Tell me who you are, like a real man, kind of shit. It's just like, wow, like this is like some straight like he watched Fox News or something, and they like all the bullshit that like you hear like a lot of media places. Say to do like, hold your breath for 10 seconds or like it's
at that point I'd go for it, screenshot it and send it to any media outlets.
Oh yeah, and that's what's happening. Let me see if I can find the article. Here it is. I found it. Yeah, this is from Kotaku. Instead of closing, video game retailer provides employees with bullshit coronavirus safety tips. So I'm just going to read this article because it's fucking nuts. So instead of providing stores with adequate sanitation supplies or simply outright closing in response to COVID-19, Game Exchange Corporate felt it was best to send employees with what amounted to a chain email full of bogus prevention tactics. Their advice includes gargling vinegar, drinking lots of water because water neutralizes the virus in your stomach, which is not true. Utilizing sunlight to remove it from your clothing, all which are products or practices that don't actually work. And this is from actual science. Game Exchange employees spoke to Kotaku last week regarding concerns over how the company is handling the ongoing pandemic caused by the novel strain of coronavirus. Workers said that the original video game retailer, which operates over 100 locations throughout the southeastern, I said northeastern, United States, remain open despite local authorities calling for the closure of non-essential businesses. Game Exchange also failed to provide stores with supplies necessary to safeguard the health of both of its employees and customers. An email sent to Game Exchange staff on Tuesday, but this is from a few weeks ago, and provided by Kotaku by employees who wish to remain anonymous. Vice President of Retail Operations, Mindy Kent, shares a list of coronavirus safeguards that she says was provided to her by a registered nurse in Louisiana. While it does include a few common sense instructions, such as advising workers to scrub their hands for 20 seconds to kill the virus, most of the claims made in the email are completely unsubstantiated. Take a sip of water for every 20 minutes. This keeps your mouth moist. keeps your mouth moist, and also washes any virus that enters your mouth into your stomach, where your gastric juices will neutralize it before it can get to the lungs.
Oh God.
This was also debunked. Gargling it with an antiseptic and warm water like vinegar or salt or lemon every day if possible. If you cannot wash your clothes daily, hang them in sunlight, which also neutralizes the virus. Try to avoid eating and drinking anything cold. Okay. Experts suggest doing this simply verification every morning. Breathe in deeply and hold your breath for 10 seconds. If this can be done without coughing, without difficulty, this shows that there is no fibrosis in the lungs, indicating the absence of infection. It is recommended to do this control every morning to help detect infection. Like all the erroneous advice, this can be easily disproved with a simple Google search. Let me scroll through the rest of it. So this gets kind of sciencey. The day after the publication of Kotaku's original story on Game Exchange, Game Exchange's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, an employee took it upon themselves to email owner Grant a lengthy anonymous message begging him to take more action. The email, which Kotaku has acquired, lays out the severity of the situation with statistics on infection and the death rates in states where Game Exchange is present, like Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Some of your employees have families at home that need to be worried about. They may already have children at risk of sickness. Some have infants on the way, and some of us even personally have or know someone close with autoimmune disorders, which are some of the people who are extremely susceptible to contracting the virus. This is almost a guaranteed fatality. Is this something you could donate just for the store to earn a few extra dollars at the end of the day? So the owner of the company, his response, and this is something that's provided by that was given to Kotaku, was okay. Let's see. So Wither Hill's response to this employee provided to Kotaku by other Game Exchange employees seemed more preoccupied with the tone of the original email and the anonymity of its sender than providing the support his employee so desperately sought. He did not respond to this. So basically, he said, "I can't do anything to address your concerns if I don't know who I'm talking with. I could tell whoever you are that I spend lots of time in my stores, even though I have Parkinson's disease and asthma. Plus, I'm 56 years old, so don't lecture me on risk. I'm here if you want me to be an adult and talk to me."
Damn. God damn. You know what was missing from that whole thing? What was missing from that whole thing was just one question.
What?
Have you poured water on it?
Yeah.
That was just insane, Tyler. I mean, let me be perfectly honest, I'm just really speechless, because that's just... Oh, God, that's just so terrible. That is fucking insane.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, literally. Literally, we talk about GameStop, but then you have something that's even worse being done by Game Exchange, that's just purposely just freaking like spreading misinformation and lies to their workers because they want a few extra bucks. I mean, no fucking company's worth that much in order to sacrifice your life for. None. Don't let any company tell you otherwise.
Yeah, this makes GameStop look like angels to me. I just drink water every 20 minutes to make your mouth moist. I love that. Because mouth moistness really helps kill that disease. Yeah, but yeah, that's all we have for news this week. Jumping on into what we've been playing. I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII. I've only got to play like another hour and a half, 2 hours since we talked last week. But man, I just got those girls are thirsty AF. I don't know if I've said that before. Thirsty.
You're not the only one that's been talking about that.
God
and what was kind of hilarious is I actually was reading a question from like an article or something like that. No, it was actually a subtitle for like a video, and I just know it was Final Fantasy VII related, so I was just going to skip it. But it was like, why are the girls of Final Fantasy VII so thirsty? Or something like that crap.
Yeah,
why is everybody so thirsty or something
yeah,
like that?
for Cloud. Like I was playing it, and Courtney came in the room the other day, and she's just watching it, and there was Jessie talking to Cloud, and she like very obviously won the D, and Courtney's like, man, looks like Jessie wants to go to Cloud 9, and a legit laugh out loud moment for me. She never makes me laugh about video game stuff. Never.
Oh, that's awesome.
And legit made me chuckle. I got a stomach laugh out of that one. So yeah, but I know I'm still enjoying the game. It's still very, very pretty looking. It's absolutely gorgeous and stunning to look at. I just beat this like Coliseum. I'm in chapter 9 still. I just beat like the Coliseum section. So I think I'm about to like do the whole like cross-dressing part of this game. Like with the honeybee.
I see. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. To be perfectly honest with you, Tyler, I think I've played maybe past that point in the original Final Fantasy VII, so I know exactly where you're at, I think.
Yeah. So like I just like had like a 20-minute boss fight with a house.
Oh yeah.
Is that in the original game?
Yep.
Okay.
That's in the original game. You're not going crazy. That's actually in the original game.
Okay. I was like, is this something they added like later, or are they? Because I've heard like there's like some weird like you fight cars in the game, and like you fight, and they make sense of them in the game. So I'm wondering with the new one, like the original one, you fought like random cars and like weird things, and then this one they try to make sense of it. I'm just like, is this something they added? Like then it starts flying at one point, and those fight, and then like I don't know, it's fun. It was a bitch because the goddamn thing like has a super high defense. And only like really can damage at certain points, but it legitimately took me. I died once. I died for the first time, but it's nice because when you die, you just start right before the fight again, so you don't really lose a lot. But I died once fighting him, and I was like 10 minutes in. I was so fucking pissed, but I went back. I was able to beat him the second time. But yeah, he wasn't like super hard. He just got me like in a bad spot where like I just kind of got a little cocky on like healing. And I didn't do it. I tried to get more offensive than like do the smart shit, and he just caught me in a bad break when I died. It was just more of like a battle of like test your patience kind of shit than a battle of him like nearly killing me. But yeah, I just beat that. So I'm getting close to like Aerith is like going off and getting like her makeover done right now. So I'm just doing side missions. Like I do all the side missions in the game as they come up. So I'm doing all that shit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I played a little bit more Resident Evil 3 as well. Oh, and I got Borderlands 3. I forgot to mention that. I haven't played it. I just got that. It was on like the one day only sale for like $15, and I didn't realize it was $15 on Best Buy. And I didn't realize it. I had $10 off coupon that's been sitting there for God knows how long. And so I got it for $5. So.
Oh, okay. So did you get the physical or the digital?
Yeah, edition? I got the physical copy. So.
Oh, okay. So you've already gotten it?
Yeah, I ordered it. I ordered it last Thursday. I ordered it like right before we started talking, right before we started recording last week.
Yeah. So, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you said that you're doing that and stuff like that. I mean, hell, I ordered something on Amazon. I'm not gonna get my things like about May 17th.
Oh yeah, no, I've ordered. I mean, like don't get me wrong, I've ordered a bunch of other shit. Like, we don't want to go to Walmart, so like we bought like $100 in candles, and Courtney's been on candles and like the wax like shit that melts. And it smells fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but we ordered a shit ton of those, and it's like. Instead of like we ordered all at the same time, but like we took like a week and a half to get the first box, and only had some of them in it, and then we just got the second box. We got 2 boxes last week. We got another box today, which is 2 candles in it, and then we still have 2 more orders coming. I don't know why. Like, can you just send them all like in one big package, or like just wait, to send them to me? So because we ordered like 9 candles and a shit ton of stuff, like literally $100 in candles and wax. And then like I've ordered shirts, and it takes like, which is whatever. There's more important shit going on, but yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, because I got like the free Best Buy does like the free shipping and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's like I said, that's pretty much all I've really been playing is Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm like 16 hours in now at this point, so.
Yeah, you're pretty much in there, pretty deep.
Yeah, like there's like 18 chapters, but I heard like the chapters, like the way like the length of them don't make a lot, like aren't really like the same. Like some chapters are like I was on chapter 4 within like 5 hours of the game, and then like chapter 7 was like literally like 6 hours. So like there's not like the length of the chapters aren't always like, they're pretty crazy sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty much, like I said, all I've been playing. What about you, Gables?
Okay, well, to be perfectly honest with you, I have been messing around a bit with my PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just playing a bunch of random games on the PS4 Pro just to check them out. And what's kind of interesting about it is, I'm very surprised how good the performance of some of my games look and how they run. And the game that I want to cite as an example is Shadow of the Colossus.
No, okay.
So basically, what I did is I played roughly like around an hour of like Shadow of the Colossus, right? But I had to take out I believe it's the fourth Colossi and stuff. And just out of curiosity, once I got my PS4 Pro all set up and stuff, it was the first game I actually decided to start. So when I get into the game, it has the option in the menu of changing things to performance or resolution. Yep. So I went to performance, because I tried resolution for a while, and it looked pretty nice and stuff like that, like really crisp. Then I went to performance, and all of a sudden the frame rate, everything else just kind of like skyrocketed a little bit and stuff, and it was very fluid. I mean, the performance was very fluid to the extent where it kind of felt like I was just fucking tripping out, like for a good solid 10 minutes, because here I am. I'm playing this boss battle, like against this Colossi, where you have to go ahead and go to the underground, like little tunnels and stuff, in order to try to climb up on it and stuff like that.
Yep.
But the movements, the frame, I think it's locked around 30 frames per second, and everything else, focusing on how the game ran, it ran so smooth inside of that entire boss battle. It was just amazing. I mean, I honestly didn't know I was missing so much with some of this like HDR stuff. But holy crap, there's some games that really implement that stuff very well. And
yes.
Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, that's one of those games and stuff that benefits from the whole performance boost and the whole like 4K HDR stuff. But another game I did try out was like Dragon Ball FighterZ, because, well, hell, I played that game for so long, I might as well. And kind of the same thing, everything else just seems to really pop. Like, really pop in terms of colors, in terms of, like, just fluidity, in terms of, like, the designs and everything. It just felt... That also... It was, like, a little bit of, like, a step down from what I was looking at for Shadow of the Colossus, but it was definitely great to look at. But, other than that, like I was saying before... I've been checking out a lot of, like, retro game stuff. And I know as a late birthday gift, you got me like a $20 like eShop card for the Switch.
Yep.
So, anytime I have money like on an account, like say for eShop, Amazon, whatsoever, I usually take my time and I look at all my options. But what's hilarious is for a long while, I was just basically kind of craving to play a fighting game, right? So, a little bit goes past and stuff, and so once I got the little eShop card, I decided to research a lot of the Neo Geo games. And I ended up buying 2 Neo Geo games.
Oh, wow.
One being Metal Slug, and the other one being Garo Mark of the Wolves. Both are supposed to be excellent games. Metal Slug obviously is sort of similar to what you would expect, like from say like a Contra style game. Only it's like an arcade. It's kind of like an arcade shooter, very lush graphics, everything else, all just really lush and fun looking. The other one's a fighting game, which is quintessentially the last game in the Fatal Fury series. So you have Terry Bogard and everything else.
Okay. Yep.
So I ended up picking up those two, and just before we started recording, I started playing, I actually started playing a bit more of King of Fighters 98. I've beaten the arcade mode of that game tonight, and it was just kind of hilarious because basically I power on my Switch, right? I go whenever you go to the boot up these ACA like Neo Geo games, like either on Switch or any of the platform and stuff, it'll give you like a option to play in the English or the Japanese version. So I boot up the US version, and I didn't know this, but I literally was still at the final boss and stuff, and I had to go to pick my team and stuff, and so I went through and I picked like one of the founding teams and stuff like that. And what's hilarious about it, the final boss, his name's Rugal, right? And he's incredibly hard to try to go through and beat. I mean, he definitely has moves that will take priority when you try to go through and like either evade something or try to hit basic light attacks. So quintessentially, King of Fighters or any type of fighting game that you would play on say the Neo Geo, you cannot button mash at all. You try button mashing or anything else you try doing in fighters, you're just going to get countered and you're going to get owned fairly quickly. So what these games predominantly like require you to do, especially like King of Fighters 98, is you got to be methodical in your approach. You got to do mix-ups, you got to do dodging, like rolls and stuff. And that's what King of Fighters 98 has. It's got roll. It's got like a roll mechanic. But you also have these two options where you can have the roll mechanic and like everything else inside the advanced format, or if you want to go extra, it's a little bit deeper than that, where it's like it'll actually give you, instead of doing a roll, you can actually counter moves. Like it's sort of like how in Street Fighter 4 there's these combination of two buttons that allow you to say cancel. It's pretty much like a cancel into like certain other moves. Like say it's like a part of a combo quintessentially, where like say you're doing like a couple light attacks and stuff, then if you do one move you can cancel by pressing the two buttons into another quick move and stuff to set up like a major combo or to finish off a combo. Yeah, it's sort of a similar aspect to the whole like counter mechanic inside of King of Fighters 98. Maybe not as like to the point as in Street Fighter 4, but what I'm saying is, while playing against this final boss, the first couple times I'm like, okay, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll a bunch of times and stuff. Just get a couple lights, like maybe like a lot of light chip damage in, like maybe some light jabs, some light kicks or something. But whenever I try to jump above, like say if I want to try to like carelessly jump over, kind of like jump into something and try to do like a heavy attack or whatsoever, he'll counter with this big old like cross kick, right? Where it's like basically like a cutter cross kick, right? Where you just kick it up in the air and all of a sudden he catches you in the air, and then he has this little like energy attack where he can delay this thing, right? I made a mistake that he would do it instant. So at first, first couple times he does it instant, but all of a sudden when I try to dodge like the same thing, expecting the same pattern, no, he freaking like delays like this blast. And so I basically lost the first couple times, and on my third attempt, what surprised me with my first character, now granted, King of Fighters 98 is like a 3-on-3 fighter, and it's 3 of you against only him, it's like a 3-on-1, but the thing is, he has a lot more health. And his AI is incredibly cheap and difficult. So, yeah, for Omega Rugal, it's like trying to get down his health can be a task in and of itself, especially since the RNG of what he'll do, you cannot predict that. There's a reason why SNK fighting bosses at the end of arcade modes and stuff are infamous, and that's because of how just difficult they are to predict in some regards. But what's kind of hilarious about it is I went with one of my characters. I started off Benimaru, who's part of like another originating team from the King of Fighters and stuff. I went entirely that round and stuff without the time running out. I managed to beat Rugal with just one character, and it made me feel very fucking good about myself. I didn't flat out knock him off or anything else. No, I basically just had the time run out and stuff, when it's actually at the last second. But I thought it was pretty funny that I ended up doing that. You know, it's like I barely spent like maybe about 5-10 minutes and stuff, but after that I decided to do like a little bit of a playthrough with the Fatal Fury team being like Terry and Andy Bogard along with Joe Musashi, I think it is. I think his last name is. But oh yeah, I kid you not, man. It's like growing up playing Street Fighter games, I pretty much have this like idea of like how fighting games usually are, and like even playing games like Smash Brothers or Skullgirls or even Dragon Ball Fighters, Tekken to a certain extent. When you play like a game, like a fighting game from SNK, it just feels distinct. It feels different than what I'm accustomed to. But I gotta admit, from a game that released in '98, like a fighting game like that, I mean, this 2D fighter just really ages very well, in my personal opinion. Hell, that's one of the reasons why I've been so interested in trying to like play more of the Neo Geo stuff, is because King of Fighters '98 kind of got me hooked with that regards. But yeah, other than that though, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right. Well, cool, man. I'm glad you're diving into some cool stuff. You know, using those points
yeah.
up. I still got some money saved up on my my Switch. That's I won't lie, it's burning a hole in my pocket. But I'm like trying to hold off on like using that to buy like the games that go on sale that I really want, or you know, things like that. I'm break it down though, man. I really want. I don't know why, but I want to play like Astral Chain. I don't know if that's like the new like because of the Nier stuff that's been announced lately. But like, because that was like a lot of the people that worked on Nier Automata or have worked on that game. But yeah, I've sitting there, I've looked at it a couple times. I'll look at my Switch. I'm just like,
Astral Chain.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, like, that game looks fun. I mean, it looks great. It's just like one of those games I just never got around to playing. I wasted.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me.
Yeah, I waste too much time playing goddamn Death Stranding. Not gonna do it.
And honestly, it's like a lot of my priority has been like playing Animal Crossing and stuff, but I'm to the point with that where it's like I'm done with the major bits of it. I mean, I already got the ending to Animal Crossing New Horizons with the whole KK concert.
You rolled credits, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, literally, it's like Tom Nook will tell you, oh, okay, it's like, yeah, KK is going to be here tomorrow and stuff, you know, as soon as you get the whole 3-star thing for the island and stuff. And you literally have to wait the next day in order for him to come perform, and all of a sudden, hey, there's end credits. So that's what I was treated with yesterday morning.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So is that how it ends in? As like KK Slider shows up?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. I was curious, like what the I figured they did something for the ending. I was just curious what it was.
But to get that ending, I spent like about 110 hours just to get to that ending.
Hey, Gables.
What?
Worth it though, right?
Yeah, it was. It was. And plus, I'm still doing my routine stuff, gathering resources, just doing whatever. Plus, with the whole update for tomorrow, it's going to be... Yeah, I'll play a little bit of Animal Crossing tomorrow as well.
God damn it, I really want to play Animal Crossing. Fuck. I'm going to buy Animal Crossing, aren't I? I'm going to break down. I know I'm going to do it. I might as well just do it. I don't know why I haven't done it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to fight it as long as I can. Fuck. It looks so good, though. I just want to be part of it, Gables. I just want to be part of the fun. I just want to be part of it. No, we should play next, though, Gables?
What?
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I know.
It's so good. It's so goddamn good. And then there's like, you got all these thirsty bitches on there too. So that's a thing that happens. You know, that's always fun and weird. It makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, when you're playing this game next to your girlfriend. And you're just like, these are things that happen. You know, it's whatever. You know, shit happens. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the show for the week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We have a Facebook page and group. Check us out on there, Drunk Nerds Podcast. On Twitter at Drunk Nerds Pod. Follow us on there. On twitch.tv/Colonel Gables. Subscribe or follow him on there, please. And eventually maybe we could subscribe to him on there. Also, Drunk Nerds Podcast. follow us on there as well. On YouTube, Drunk Nerds, subscribe on there. Give us a big thumbs up. Leave us a comment. iTunes, same thing. Just pretty much. Was it? God, Spotify. I forgot the last one. But check us out all those places. Follow, subscribe, like, 5 stars, comment, whatever you can do to help us. We really appreciate you guys doing that. So until next time, I was Tyler.
And I've been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, I hope you enjoyed yourself listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast.
Yep. Oh, hey, Gables.
Yep.
Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Excuse me. You too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.